Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to take a look at the Soulforge and tell you what I think is good and bad in there. Also going to take a look at this weekly event troop, the Earth Giant. Anyway, my girlfriend keeps accusing me of cheating. She's starting to sound like my wife. Right, anyway, Earth Giant, let's take a look. Stun an enemy and deal magic +2 heavy splash damage to them. So that's not too bad. Allied Giants gain 2 life, gain 1 life on 4 or 5 gem matches, and reduce damage from skulls by 50%. Stun an enemy, that's pretty good that you can target an enemy with this, like Queen Bee or someone else that's got annoying traits you want to take away. And heavy splash damage does the initial amount of damage to that target and 75% of that damage to adjacent enemies. So, yeah, not bad at all. Not amazing, but certainly not rubbish. So 6 out of 10 for you, matey boy. Right, let's grab that up to Mythic level. Always good to get these to Mythic if you can. It's going to aid your power level kingdoms in the long run. Got that, and I do like to grab Spoils of War as well, if you have enough. Allowed to get 10 of them a week, and no more. Right, let's jump into the Soulforge then, see what's going on in there. Going to start with the weapons. Not going to look at all the ones that are here all the time, like Shattered Blade, Broken Guard, etc. These ones are in my Soulforge Extra video, which basically goes over all these ones that you hear all the time, and that includes the troops too. But first up we have the Enormace. Not the little mace, the Enormace. This is the event weapon as well, so even though I need it, I'm not buying it from here, I'm going to buy it from the shop in the Invasion. For gems, it's going to cost 250 gems, I think it is altogether. But you need to buy to tier 2 anyway for the event to get the new troop, the Siege Breaker, who smashes up the towers with a lot more power than normal, so you need that. So you may as well just get the extra tier and get the weapon anyway. So good weapon, but don't get it from here, get it from the event shop. And it explodes magic +1 brown gems, grants a random status effect to all giant allies, then summons a giant troop. So a explodey summoning weapon, which we like to go along with the other one that the giants have. What is it? The Crown of Horns. So yeah, good weapon, definitely worth picking up, but grab it from the event shop, not from here. Right, so what have we next? Ice Aegis. Steals magic +1 attack and armor from an enemy. If the enemy is a boss, freeze all enemies and barrier all allies. So effective against troops like Zul Goth and things like that, regarding that freeze all enemies and barrier all allies. But yeah, it's a little bit situational in the way you have to use it. But yeah, it's okay, but nothing essential. Doomed Hammer. Deals magic placed heavy splash damage to an enemy +4 per tempering level. So get this tempered up, it's going to do a lot more damage. Stun all blue enemies, cleanse all blue allies, explode 4 gems. If the enemy has a doom, explode 3 more. So a lot of things have to be going on there to get the most out of this. It's best in an all blue team against an all blue enemy. So yeah, it's alright. Nothing amazing though. Axe of the Storm. Kind of the anti-giant weapon in a way. Remove all blue gems, which is one of the colours I like the most. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed. If the enemy is from Stormheim or the battle is in Stormheim, deal double damage. Doomed Wand. Kind of a mid-level doomed weapon this. It's not entirely rubbish, but it's not one of the best ones either. Create 4 green gems plus one gem per tempering level. So you get this to +10. That's creating as many, very nearly as many green gems as like a loopy-doopy troop like Charleston or Secret Darkwood when they're in the correct team. So very good at creating loads of green on a one-off thing, but it does use blue. So you've got to make sure obviously you benefit from that by having somebody else in your team or a couple of other troops that use a lot of green or need a lot of green. Then give a magic +2 armor to all blue allies. If the enemy has a doom, eliminate all armor from a random enemy. Again, quite a lot going on in those extra bits. Ginormous Cleaver. Deals magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Stormheim allies. Then create a mix of 6 blue and yellow gems for each Stormheim ally. Uses purple and brown. Generates blue and yellow. So make sure at least a couple of your other troops use blue and yellow to make the most of all that lovely mana. And what's next? Must be another one. Crown of Horns. Yep, this is the other explodey summony weapon that the giants use. exploding magic +1 blue gems this time, granting a random status effect to all the giant allies, then summon a giant troop. So do like those summony explodey weapons, very handy indeed. Zephyros's Bolt deals magic based scatter damage, and if Zephyros is on my team, explode 5 gems. So not great. Like, Zephyros isn't a fantastic troop anyway, and you obviously need him on your side to make the most of that weapon. And that's half your team sort of automatically picked for you because of that. So yeah, not brilliant, but more collectible. Don't discard it. It's one of the cheap ones, 75 diamonds. So it's always worth picking up those cheap ones sometimes. It's going to help your power level kingdoms eventually. Next up we have Onyx Blade. Dealing magic based damage to an enemy, then convert 8 yellow gems to Uber Doomskulls, which do a lot more damage than normal. This is actually a really good weapon. I do like the fact it does the initial damage, but this actually works better when there's less yellow gems on the board. You don't really want a yellow storm going on with this and yellow everywhere. If there's like 15 yellow on the board, it's random whether them gems are going to match to other skulls or not. When there's actually less yellow on the board, say there's like 9 yellow on the board, which is a kind of average sort of amount, you can see clearly if they're going to match with other skulls, and you've got to be really unlucky for that one other skull which is not going to get converted to be the one which didn't get you the match on the skulls. So I do like the Onyx Blade. Very good indeed. Right, and then we have the these other ones which are to do with the new Cosmic Dragons, so I'm not going to go over them because they are specialist, same as the Decaying Orbit. Those last 3 are all specialist ones to do with the new Cosmic Dragons and getting them first. Alright, now let's jump to the troops and see about them. Let's take a look at these. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up. Same as before, not going over all the troops that are here all the time like Zul, Goth and stuff like that. They're in my Soulforge extra video. So first up we have the Wild King. That's a pretty good start. Enrage all allies, which deals 1.5 times attack and ignores enemy traits. Really good. And give them a magic +1 attack. Then create a mix of 22 skulls and yellow gems. This is a really good troop if you're a new player, because even though you're going to get a low amount of that higher increased attack when you cast this because of your magic level, you still create the same amount of skulls and yellow gems as the highest level players in the game, which is really cool. And especially if you can have the top troops entangled, say, something like that to protect yourself should that spell go wrong. But when it goes right, it can actually be absolutely devastating. And he summons a Bone Storm at the start of battle as well, which is skulls, which again gives that spell a really good chance of working. Wild King, absolutely devastating in the correct team, but can backfire sometimes. Just be aware of that. Who is next? Sycorax. Wow, this is 2 top troops here straight away. Doubles a chosen colour on the board, then creates 3 more gems of that colour. Then give magic +1 life to all allies of that colour. Traits are pretty good too. Recover 3 life at the start of each turn. Impervious, immune to all status effects, devour, lycanthropy and mana burn. And all elemental allies gain 1 attack and armour at the start of each turn. But it's the way that spell works which is really cool. Using blue, green and brown, when you get a lot of those colours on the board, any Guild Wars day that you use that on sort of thing, where you're using all the same colours, for example, anyway, in a correct team, you can actually create loads of those gems and keep repeating the process, especially if one of the other members uses or has an extra turn. Really, really cool. Sycorax, fantastic troop. Who is next? We have Undine. Yeah, he's a little bit jank. Deals magic-based damage to an enemy and the next enemy below, boosted by Merfolk and Submerged allies. Submerge blue allies and silence blue enemies. So again, best against an all-blue enemy team with all blue allies. And he does submerge himself at the start of every turn and is immune to mana burn, mana drain and mana steal, which is useful. But yeah, better mythics out there. That's the only thing, Mr. Undine. Euryali. Very good indeed. Does magic-based true damage to all enemies, boosted by Naga and undead allies, and summon a Bone Naga. She has the awesome Poison Gaze. Poison all enemies on 4 or 5 gem matches and is immune to Devour. But the reason that poison all enemies on 4 gem matches is so good is because this pairs her really, really well with Scorpius, who does lethal damage to any poisoned enemies. So really good pairing. If you got Scorpius, this makes her pretty much essential for that absolutely quick kill potential with Scorpius. Very good indeed. Right, so let's just take a quick look at the legendaries now. Lust is here. Charm an enemy. Charm is pretty good. A charmed troop deals its attack as damage to the troops above and below it. And a 40% chance to transform them into a succubus or incubus. So yeah, very handy indeed. You see that on a lot of life and death teams. Lust. And we have Sylvanamora. Underrated troops. Like, I use this quite often, but you don't see many other people use it. But I actually quite like it. Explode a column, which is going to generate mana for the team. Then does damage to all enemies, which is good, because if anybody's stealthy, it's going to do damage to them and things like that. But against Skull teams, it's fantastic. Entangle the first enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. So as soon as you get a 4 or 5 gem match, you're going to entangle the first enemy. And if you kill them, so the next enemy below is now not entangled, just any 4 or 5 match, and you continually then entangle the next enemy. Sylvanamora. Really, really good troop. Absolutely worth picking up. Queen Mab. Used to be really good in the early days, mana burning all enemies, and if there are 13 or more blue gems, gain an extra turn. But more and more troops in the game are getting immune to mana burn, so she's not quite as effective as she used to be. Gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell is certainly useful, as is freeze a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. But yeah, not quite the power queen she used to be. Shegra, still absolutely fantastic in the right team and absolutely worth picking up. Creates 7 red gems, then convert all red gems to skulls. Because of the way that spell works, creating 7 red gems, then converting all red gems to skulls, as long as you've got an alignment of red and skulls, you can see sometimes quite clearly when you've got like red, skull, skull, red. That means when you cast Shegra, you are going to get them skull hits, you're going to get an extra turn. Really good troop, very, very powerful indeed. I like it a lot. Burn a random enemy when matching red gems, can synergize with other troops really well as well. And deal double skull damage versus burning enemies is kind of the icing on the cake, really. Shegra. Absolutely great stuff. Alright, so that is it. Nobody utterly essential in the summoning stones. I had a quick glance earlier. But who gets my mythic of the week? Euryali is very, very good indeed, but not quite as good as somebody else who I've got in mind. Wild King, close but no cigar. The fact that that spell can actually backfire on you, even if there's a lot of yellow and skulls on the board and you cast that. I've had that go wrong still and somehow managed to make no relevant matches whatsoever and set the enemy up. So most of the time it does work and can be devastating, but the potential for it to backfire is what goes against it. Sycorax, on the other hand, you can pretty much guarantee you're going to get life galore for all allies of the colour that you cast it on. You're going to get mana gen galore, and it works really, really well in just so many different teams. So Sycorax, you funny looking fella, you get my mythic of the week. So there it is. There's the Soulforge video today. I'll be back later on with my invasion video, my Underspire team and Epic Trials video. So yeah, bash the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, found anything useful, or want to see one of those other videos coming up today. It's Manic Monday. There is so much going on. It's absolutely crazy. But thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.